That's what we do, Bob, every day is we help Christians focus in on what they can do, not look at the whole dismal picture, but look, okay, you know what, I can pray. I can spend time 5 minutes a week praying for my elected officials, my city, state, nation. I can show up and love my neighbors by electing righteous leaders, showing up to vote in every election, and I can start engaging in education and civic involvement for the well-being of America. That's not hard. That's a really great roadmap. Pray, vote, engage for every believer. So we help them be the leaders they're called to be. And truly, the founders gave us a gift to elect our representatives in this nation. You know, we should be thanking God we're not in North Korea or Cuba or Venezuela right now.
Well, you spent 16 years actually running campaigns. You've been into the rough and tumble world of politics. You probably have a lot of stories that you could tell with respect to the way these campaigns work. So how have you been able to take your experience in that realm and actually kind of bring it over into the work of Christians Engaged?
Well, I didn't ever think about writing a book about my life or my story, but I felt like I needed to, Bob, because we want to inspire Christians that they can live for Jesus. They can be followers of Christ and get involved in government and politics. My testimony is I've worked for members of Congress for 16 years and ran campaigns and had one of the largest consulting firms in Texas. And somehow, even through all that, I still love Jesus. That's the testimony, right? And hopefully, I believe that I've left a testimony to people that I've worked with or have been influenced, an influencer in their life, to say you can be a Christ follower and watch your heart and make sure you're doing this. Also, we want to help Christians that do get involved politically to walk with Jesus, to make sure they're dealing with offenses, bitterness, unforgiveness, anger, fear, pride, the things that hit our hearts in politics. We're seeing a huge increase in drunkenness and alcoholism within elected officials and candidates because they can't deal with all the problems, so they're trying to medicate in some way. So we want to help Christians that are involved in the system to realize that God's called them, has a destiny in their life for that field, but we have to watch our souls every day.
Bunni Pounds is joining us today from the organization Christians Engaged. She is also the author of a book called Jesus and Politics. Joining us today at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention in Nashville. So how much of the book is your personal life story, and how much do you deal in the book Jesus and Politics with some of these principles that you've learned and that Christians today can apply?
Well, I hopefully wrote it in a fun way. It's a mix of stories and education at the same time, but I tried to write it in not a boring fashion where it's not just a how to do politics as a Christian book. I weave stories of my campaign for Congress, almost winning a $1 million race in 2018, being endorsed by Vice President Mike Pence and other key leaders. You know, how I've prayed for members of Congress, spoken words over their life, given them the scriptures, walked a candidate, soon to be member of Congress through a terminal cancer diagnosis, spent time on airplanes with Congressman Lee Zeldin and Congressman Michael Cloud and Jeb Hensley and others, speaking the word over them when I had opportunities and conversations. I think people are going to find this book to really be fun to read.